you didn't engage in that activity to sort of have the good feeling of
No,
writing a book. You
no.
did it, obviously, as we
Yes and
spoke
no.
previously.
Yes and no. Like, yes, the good feeling, but obviously within context. Because a
As
lot
in,
of
that wasn't the end goal at all.
no, it wasn't. See, this is why a lot of people, you hear celebrities struggle once they've made a hit to back up the expectations.
Yeah.
Right. Because now they've got this image that's been inflated and built up.
Mark Manson actually talks a lot about that after his first
subtle art.
No, he talks about. I listened to something with him where he was just saying the most difficult part about that was then trying to fight the expectations that people have of him on the second. It kind of distracted him from doing the things he thought was important. Obviously, the writing component.
Of course.
Like his mind kept diverging to, oh, what if it's not good enough, or but then he said, this is just from listening to an interview with him, he said essentially he just had to bring it back to, I want to make something that I'm proud of, and let's start with that, because once you come from that external reference, then it kind of to him was saying defeats the purpose. Do you resonate with that?
Yeah, well, that makes perfect sense. I don't know if I think about just make something I'm proud of, even. But I think that's a perfect,
to be honest.
No, but I think that's a perfectly fine motivation.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't think about that with anything I've done. Like, this was the book was great, so am I now worried about the next book? Because at the end of the day, it's this paradox of that I'm very content to do everything. Most things I'm doing now, very lucky, I'm content to do for an audience of none. Right? I'm content to write the book if no one reads it, because I just get so much out of the process. But at the same time, it's actually designed for people, and that's the paradox. Like, yes, it's actually designed for other people. I enjoyed writing it. I enjoyed it so much that I don't even need anyone else to validate it. Every validation is just a bonus. It's a very fine a very fine sweet spot of not caring about certain things, but caring about the right things that keep it very light and don't bring your identity into it. For me, I don't like, I can't, 8 and a loss is nowhere near subtle art of giving a fuck in terms of not giving a fuck in terms of sales and, public, reception and all that. But even with, it's been a nice little kind of initial launch, but even with that, I don't feel any personally pressure or, or anything like that. Not for a moment, but I've also been very conscious of this for a long time, because you just look at all these stories and you start to think, why does that happen? And the other thing is, like, to me, I don't know, who gives a fuck? Like, if they don't like the second book as much as the first one, all right, well, lucky, the first one was good fun. Lucky people like it. Because when you're not over identified with your work and your work just comes through you and it is not a measure of you, that is the ultimate that is the healthiest place to be, that I see.
Yeah.
Not easy necessarily, but that's healthiest.